It's before you travel to Africa. So this is a very general statement. It says 15 safety secrets tourists never hear. Interesting. So it's a quick little 5-minute video. Let's see. That's 5 minutes to list 15. It's going to be very interesting. Let's go ahead and react to this video here. Make it full screen. And let's go. Let's pull this back a little bit.
So, you're planning a trip to Africa. That's exciting. Africa is one of the most beautiful continents in the world. It's full of culture, adventure.
Sorry, y'all. The AI voice is driving me nuts, but just bear with me. Let's just see what this video has to say. This is my first time watching it, so I'm doing real reactions to this video as well as another one I have listed that is under the general theme of discussion for this stream today. So let's continue. Just bear with us. You know, even my voice might be a little annoying to you, so hopefully you're getting information about it, you know, so I appreciate you. If y'all do enjoy, in general, how I'm doing these discussions or the topics that I'm bringing up, please comment and let me know if you have any other suggestions for me to go over on this channel. Like I said, this channel focuses mostly on business and business development content, as well as innovations and things like that with and around the African diaspora. However, we also speak on just a variety of different things underneath that umbrella. So if there be certain topics or discussion that you want me to cover, feel free to let me know in the comment section below, and share this video if there is anything that you believe that others can take from it, any type of information that they may find plentiful and fulfilling. I do appreciate your viewership. All right, let's continue.
History, and some of the warmest, friendliest people you'll ever meet. From the Great Pyramids of Egypt to the wildlife safaris of Kenya, from the beaches of Zanzibar to the buzzing nightlife of Lagos, there is so much waiting for you. But let's be honest, like anywhere else in the world, traveling here does come with risks. And that's why we're having this conversation today. I want you to travel smart, enjoy your trip, and come back with only good memories. The first thing you need to do, even before stepping on a plane, is research. Do your homework. Every country in Africa is different. Laws are different. Customs are different. And what might seem normal to you back home may not be accepted where you're going. For example, in some places, public displays of affection might attract unwanted attention. In others, even small offenses carry serious penalties. So, check travel advisories. Read up on the culture. Plan your itinerary carefully. And here's a tip: book your accommodation through trusted sources. Don't just pick the cheapest thing you find online.
So I just want to stop there for a second. If you were with me on the last series, one of the episodes I spoke about, we went through this travel advisory for TZ to see where it was ranked, and what were some of the travel concerns that they had for that country with respect to the United States. There may be different viewpoints if you check other countries' travel advisory, maybe to other countries. So that was the US one in particular. So in general, I think the biggest thing for sure is to make sure you do your research before me and the directors. It's me from the US, and the other two directors who live in the US are also from the Caribbean, and we also have other members on board as well from the actual country of TZ. So, you know, which we met after we traveled there. We didn't know them prior to going into the country. I believe, I don't want to speak for the CEO. He may have had someone he contacted beforehand, but I don't think it worked out in that particular regard. But don't quote me on that. But nonetheless, we did a lot of research before we decided to try to touch down. And that's just, it should be common sense. But, you know, common sense is common. And, you know, and it's just something that I think some people may not really do a lot of. They might do a few clicks and say, okay, I'm good. They say don't do this, don't eat pork, whatever, and they're going about their business. Like, no, it might, you know, it's probably some other things you might want to, you know, expound upon. You know, like I said, self-preservation, people always understand that. And it is true. You have to understand, you are a traveler in a foreign land. You're a sojourner, so to speak. And in doing so, your perception is not going to be their perception. Your ideologies, philosophies, whatever, may not be theirs. Matter of fact, it might be polar opposite of theirs. And so just to show up and say, hey, I'm such and such, and I demand you to respect me as I'm respected from wherever country or province or place that I came from, you might find yourself in a world of trouble. You might find yourself in prison. You might find yourself, in another life, if you get what I'm saying. So, research is vitally important, and hopefully it's something that should be self-explanatory. But like I said, common sense is not common. Let's continue.
A little research can save you a lot of trouble later. Now, once you're on the ground, let's talk about the kinds of crimes tourists usually face. Pickpocketing is probably the most common. Picture this: you're walking through a crowded market, distracted by the colors, the music, the energy, and someone slips your wallet right out of your pocket. It happens fast. To avoid that, use crossbody bags with zippers and keep them in front of you. Backpacks hanging behind you. Not a good idea. Then there's ATM fraud. Criminals sometimes tamper with ATMs or just hang around waiting for careless users. Always use machines inside banks or secure buildings, not the ones on the street corner. Scams are another one. You might meet someone who seems super friendly. Maybe they want to show you around. Maybe they're selling souvenirs, but then they pressure you for way more money than you expected. The best way around this is simple. Agree on prices before accepting any service.
So, if you're from a country that uses heavy digital currency, this is not news for you, or it shouldn't be news to you. Here in the U.S., man, when it comes to debit and credit card scanning machines, it's gotten so sophisticated. I think they're gonna snatch the tap service next, man. They might already have. I might be late to the party on that one, because for those who may not be familiar with the digital cards, we used to just swipe most of our cards, and some we still do. I'm not saying that we don't, and sometimes depending on how the device is situated, you might have to swipe that particular card. But if it has a chip, it encourages you to insert the chip. The chip was supposed to be a better secure manner to prevent your money from being stolen, for people making false purchases using your card information. And it was working shortly. And I know this because I think I was actually working for a bank at this time when they started doing the chips. And even in the bank, we were like, it's only a matter of time before they figure out, how to hack into the chips. And it surely before that statement left our lips, they were already figuring out how to do it. That's the mind of a criminal. So, there are certain techniques and methods to avoid it. But if you have meaning that you just tap your card on the money processing device, that you are a lot safer from getting your information taken, because it's based off of, I believe, Bluetooth or Wi-Fi is how they're able to get that information from your card, from the machine, without you having to insert it, where there could be a chip reader device inside that is not of that money processor device, which was stealing your information. However, once again, they probably have something now that might be some type of blocker that can, hack it in that way. I'm not sure, but that's the safest way to do so. So if you're traveling and they have that, try to use the tap. Try to avoid any type of swiping or inserting. Sometimes there's a way that you can grab the device and kind of wiggle a little bit. If it's loose or it doesn't seem secure, that's an indication. It's like I said, sometimes they're going to get, so sophisticated, you're just not going to be able to avoid being a victim of these particular crimes. But yeah, just always, for those who travel to countries that have those devices, just be aware of where you insert your card. And I would just say, if you can pay cash, cash is still a thing. I know they're trying to have a cashless society. That's another conversation. But yeah, if you can pay with cash, pay with cash. Physical currency is always going to be your go-to when you travel. And finding a proper ATM may not be the best thing. So, go to a local bank, any type of money exchange services. It's best to do it at the airport. If you're going to start your travels from that vantage point, to go ahead and have that currency already on your person, ready to go, instead of trying to do it when you're out and about, because you may not know what are the best and secure places to go. So those are just a few things on that one. And lastly, I think that we're talking about people trying to change the pricing. Look, you know what? I'm gonna say that for another conversation. Let's let this continue.
And when in doubt, stick to official guides or tours booked through your hotel. Oh, and nightlife, this one's important. Nightclubs and bars can be fun, but they can also be dangerous. Drink spiking does happen. So never leave your drink unattended, and don't accept open drinks from strangers. Let's move on to street safety. The rule here is simple: don't stand out. Tourists who look flashy make easy targets. So leave the expensive jewelry, watches, and cash displays at home. Dress modestly and try to blend in with local fashion.
And this is, when you travel, there's sometimes, and I've said this prior, you're gonna stand out just because you ethically look different. Even if looking like me, even if you're an African American, or you're from the Caribbean, or wherever in the African diaspora around the world, your features may not be so ambiguous. There's certain places where everyone has a particular look and they know who doesn't fit in. So that in itself, don't become so, paranoid, in the sense that they're like, oh, everyone's looking at me, I can't really blend in like that. Sure. What I believe the content creator is speaking on, which stated, I believe well, is that it's not that you stand out as a different ethnicity, or a different, nationality from a different culture. It's how you stand out. If you're walking around and you got a big old chain on, you got a real expensive watch, and you're wearing some flashy clothing, that is definitely going to attract attention. Look, by you being a foreigner and you're able to travel to their country, they're already going to perceive you as someone who is wealthy. I'm just telling you that right now. They're already going to think you have money. It doesn't matter if you work at Burger King and you just saved up a couple of checks and you hopped on a plane and you went out to wherever. They think, hey, if you had the time and the money to come here, you are rich. I can't leave where I'm leaving. I've never traveled the block that I grew up on, so you're a target to me, so you can definitely avoid being more of a target by how you dress. And also, blending in, how you carry yourself, it's a big one. So definitely agree on that one.
Keep your phone out of sight in crowded areas. Trust me, phone snatching happens in the blink of an eye. And always stay aware of your surroundings. If something feels off, maybe someone is following too closely or trying too hard to distract you.
Trust your instincts and walk away. Transportation is another area where you have to be sharp. At airports, you'll likely...
That voice switch just threw me off, like, completely. I'm like, wait, where'd he come from? Okay, let's try to continue.
Be approached by drivers offering you a ride. Some are legitimate, but many are not. Only use airport-authorized taxis or recognized ride-hailing apps. Within cities, avoid random street taxis at night. If you're using buses or shared rides, don't place your bag under the seat or in overhead racks. Keep it right on your lap. And if you're renting a car, remember this: carjacking is a real risk in some areas.
So, definitely be mindful of what your taxi service, what taxi services are trying to facilitate a ride from you. it can be a hit and miss. Sometimes it may not be so straightforward. I'm just being honest with you. It depends on where you're traveling. Even in the U.S., they have been incidents where people have pretended to be Uber drivers. Right, I've had this happen where, I mean, as an Uber driver, as a Lyft driver as well. But when I was off the clock, so to speak, and I'm just parked somewhere, and somebody just opens my back door, or tries to open my back door, thinking that that's their Uber, not really paying attention, And that's happened to some people with really messed up mindsets, who took that as opportunity to pretend to be an Uber driver, drove them to some back alley somewhere, and did all kinds of horrible things to that person. Like, that's a real thing. So please, match, if you're going to take an Uber, make sure that the license plate matches the one you have on the app, and just take your time. Like, hey, it's even the right color, and if you're an Uber driver or Lyft driver, don't get upset if you're driving a vehicle, even in the instance of DoorDash or Uber Eats, and it's not recognized in the app by the person who is receiving that delivery or receiving that service. Yeah, they may report you. I know it can be annoying. You might have had your car in the shop or whatever the case may be, but you have to understand, people are very weary of being a victim of the extreme kind, and especially dealing with their food. You never know. They might say, well, I thought it's supposed to be a red car and it was a black car, and now my fries are missing and my burger looks funny, stuff like that. So but take your time, for one, if you're traveling, and two, this is an advice from an old friend. Certain countries, you want to make sure you get a meter cab. Get someone who is tracking your mileage. Okay, if you hop in, and they don't have the meter, they might start charging you crazy rates. I've had that happen. I thought I hopped in the meter cab. That's not what happened, but I was trying to get to where I needed to go, and I'm pretty sure that person got him a week's worth of extra money out of me. So learn from my mistakes on that one. Okay.
Keep your windows up, your doors locked, and don't pick up strangers. It sounds basic, but it can make all the difference. What about your hotel? A lot of travelers feel safe the moment they walk into their room, but don't let your guard down too much. Always lock your door, and if there's a latch or chain, use it. Store valuables in the safe. Don't go around telling strangers what hotel you're staying in. And if someone knocks on your door claiming to be staff, verify with the front desk before opening. A little discretion goes a long way. Now, even with all these precautions, emergencies can still happen, and that's why you need to be prepared. Learn the local emergency numbers, because not every country uses 911.
This is very true. And I will say, if you're not a WhatsApp user and you are traveling, especially for those listening from the US, this is the best app you can download, whether you like it or not. A lot of countries use that app, and yes, a lot of emergency personnel uses that app. So this is just, I'm telling you, that's a gem that I learned, especially in TZ. WhatsApp is king for travelers. When I had issues with luggage and things of that nature, I was using their WhatsApp number to contact their management to get more information, updates, even through the airlines and things of that nature. So just see how, not just what is the emergency number, but what are other ways to make sure that you what other routes rather can you contact the emergency personnel, whether it be from the direct line or by other means, because funny thing is, they use WhatsApp even more than some of the direct numbers, depending on the circumstances. And I mean that even regarding local government and municipalities. So that's just something to keep note of.
Know where your embassy or consulate is located. If you lose your passport or get into trouble, they are your lifeline. Travel insurance is non-negotiable. It covers medical emergencies, theft, and even cancellations. Make copies of your documents, passport, visa, insurance papers, and store them separately from the originals. Better yet, scan them and email them to yourself so you can access them anywhere. If your phone, wallet, or bag is stolen, having backups can save you from a complete nightmare.
I agree. I'm going to put the link of this video definitely in the description so that you can get more information from it, and also check out the channel. I think it's called Crime Shield, as you can see on here. So if you like what they're speaking about, you can definitely subscribe to that channel. I am always appreciative of where I get my information from different content creators from, right? So, but yeah, I agree with that. You should always have. I had a bunch of copies. I flew during the time of the pandemic, and due to that, I had so many receipts and copies of everything. I had to, and that also included other documentation and paperwork as well. So, if you don't have to bring your passport wherever you go, we were going back and forth to the bank, so a lot of times we had to bring our passport with us. But if you don't need to do that, don't do it. If you can keep that at your hotel, hostel, Airbnb, wherever you may be staying at, do so. As it says, if there is a safe, lock it up in a safe, or if you have a secure bag or something that you brought with you to make it secure. If that place doesn't have those type of amenities, make sure that you do so as well. Like I said, there is no such thing as overdoing it per se when it comes to safety. I'm not here to tell you that. I'm not here to say, hey, you're doing a little too much, because that may be the day that somebody may, find a crack in your shield, and run amok in your life, and you definitely don't want that. So very good on that discussion. We're gonna go ahead and continue on to see if we can get a little bit more information about how people feel, or what safety traits or characteristics they have included in their traveling, not just on the continent of Africa, but also internationally. I think this could be utilized for international travel. I wouldn't just say this is for Africa, to be honest, but I think this could be whether you're going to China, whether you're going to Indonesia, Russia, London, France. It doesn't really matter. You're gonna hear me say that a lot often. I think some of this just becomes very general, but it's needed, and it's needed to be implemented if you're going to take these voyages. So yeah, good topic of discussion, or should I say good list for the topic of this discussion as we continue. If you like what is being stated, please like, and if you want to state a few things that you think might have been missed in this discussion, please comment. And if you really love what is being discussed on the Wakazi United Podcast, please feel free to subscribe. We are new to this, but we are excited to continue to grow this channel. So your involvement and viewership is very important to us, because like I said, we are by the people, we are for the people. Why is that? It's in the name. Okay, so this is where it's at. Please come and join the tribe here. We are delighted to have you on board. So let's go ahead and move on with the series. We have one more thing to discuss, and then we'll sum it up on what it is to take note of in your traveling experiences, not just going to Africa, but wherever else you plan on going on this life's journey as well. Okay, so without further ado, let's go ahead and move into the last segment.
This is the People United Podcast. We are